What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to talk about a pretty simple topic, but it's something that people ask me about a bunch on social media, and that is, what if you panic at basic training? So basically what these people are referring to whenever they're talking to me on social media is they're like, hey Matt, sometimes I might freak out under a lot of pressure, and if drill sergeants are yelling at me, or if I screw up, or if I do something wrong, I might kind of just freeze and panic. I don't know what to do. How should I go about that in that thought process? And they're basically asking for advice. So I get that question a good bit on social media, and it's something that I haven't really talked about on my YouTube channel before, so here's this video. But basically, basic training is a high stress environment, and if there's one thing that's for certain whenever you go for basic training is at some point in time, you're gonna be stressed out. Whether you're just like an average person in the platoon and the drill sergeants are yelling at me, or you're just stressed out because everybody's trying to rush around, or if you're a leader and the drill sergeants are just on you about, your platoon screwing up, or for whatever reason, at some point in time, you're gonna feel a little bit of stress. And that is the way that it should be at basic training. So it's gonna be a physical stress and it's gonna be mental stress. And the reason that it is like that at basic training, so if you're going and you're kind of worried about being under pressure and under stress and stuff, it's supposed to be like that because we are in the military. Basic training is kind of like it is taking a civilian, turning them into a soldier. And soldiers should be a little bit better at performing, skilled tasks and things under pressure. When lives are on the line, there's a lot of pressure going on. Are you going to be able to perform, or are you going to just totally basically freeze, not be able to make decisions, things like that? So basically, drill sergeants are trying to put more pressure on you intentionally. They are intentionally doing that to you. And if you see those people during the shark attacks, and you see all the different drill sergeants, come around and they're just yelling at them, they're putting a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on that person. Basically, in my opinion, because they're showing a weakness, right? So they're showing a weakness. So in a way, you kind of have to really break somebody down to build them up. So you have to put somebody under a lot of pressure, and then if you make it through that, then they're gonna be a little bit more confident. They're gonna come out the other side. They're gonna be like, I'm a soldier. I can do this. I can get through all this stuff. I look at what I've been through. I can do it. And so they're gonna be more confident. They're gonna be able to perform better under pressure. If you show weakness, that's gonna be my one thing I want to talk about. If you show weakness, then that a lot of times is going to cause your drill sergeants to kind of get on you even more, right? So if you're more confident in what you're saying, what you're doing, if you have a purpose, the drill sergeant's gonna get on you a lot less. But if you're confused, if you freeze, if you show weakness, if you're the last person off of the bus for the shark attack, then that is when they're gonna come after you. So if you wanna, watch this video and be like, how can I avoid that? Well, try not to show weakness, make decisions quickly. It doesn't really matter if they're the wrong decision. Honestly, just make a decision. That is a huge tip that I have for the military in general, and especially for basic training, is just make a decision. Just make a decision. Have everybody do it. If it's the wrong decision, everybody's doing the wrong thing. That's better than having people doing right and wrong. That's just the way it is. So there are those few things that are going to cause drill sergeants to come after you, and they're going to pressure you. And if you panic under that pressure, if you freeze under that pressure, what's gonna happen basically is it's gonna cause more of that pressure to come. If you are frozen there and you have a drill sergeant yelling at you, if you're confused and you don't know what to do, your drill sergeant's telling you to go do something, and you're just like, oh my gosh, you're just freaking out. Because some people, under all of that pressure, they just kind of lose the ability to make decisions. They just completely freeze. It happens. It's common, but it's not super common. So there's probably going to be a couple people who are like that in your platoon, who just under all of that stress just forget everything. I'm talking about everything, because it's a little bit different when you're looking at it from a YouTube video and you're seeing these people getting yelled at by drill sergeants. But when that's you and you're in that environment, it is a lot more stressful to be in that situation. So people will freeze. And when that happens, basically that causes more pressure and more stress, right? So that's basically what's gonna happen. So in order to get out of that situation, number one, just do whatever the person is telling you to do. If it's your drill sergeant, do what your drill sergeant's telling you to do. If you're in a whole lot of trouble and the first sergeant is on your case, or you have an officer who's on your case, just do exactly what they want you to do. If you're doing something wrong, just say yes, drill sergeant, or whatever, and that's it. Just kind of try to go along with whatever you're doing and just do something, right? So don't just be frozen. Make sure you remember, stand, at parade rest whenever you're talking to drill sergeants. Make sure you're doing all that basic stuff, and then eventually you're gonna kind of get out of that situation. So honestly, if you are one of those people that's watching this video because you're like, oh my gosh, I might panic, basically, you're gonna have to get over it in a sense. You're gonna go through basic training, and if you never kind of get over the ability to overcome that stressful environment, it's just gonna make basic training a lot more difficult for you. And I basically told you just a second ago what you gotta do. Just make your decisions, try to do everything properly. Try not to lose focus of literally like your name, because I've seen that happen before where people literally they forget their name. Like I literally, this one dude next to me forgot his name when the drill sergeant asked him what his name was because he was freaking out so much, and he just was blank, right? So that's going to happen to some people. You might not forget your name, but that just shows you how much stress you're kind of under, and you're gonna have to overcome that at some point in time, and that is the necessary evil, I guess, of basic training. Even though it's not really evil, it is really just building you up to be stronger. Because if you go into basic training, you panic under a lot of pressure, maybe you have like a normal job or something, and when your boss is telling you all this stuff to do, or if you have a whole bunch of work to do and you just kind of freak out because you don't know what to do, and you're like, I'm not gonna be able to do all this, like we don't have enough time to do all this, like that is gonna be your day-to-day life at basic training. You're gonna have a lot to do and not enough time to do it in. And then on top of that, you have the drill sergeants yelling at you. You have the drill sergeants harping on you to get things done in a timely manner. And then you have the drill sergeants that are going to be punishing you if you don't do things in the amount of time, or if you don't do things literally perfectly to the T of how they're supposed to be done. Then the whole platoon is going to be punished. It's going to be mass punishment. A lot of times, they don't generally just do 1 or 2 or 3 or a handful of people. They might just punish, the whole platoon for what one person did wrong. Again, that's more added pressure, because you're like, oh gosh, if I screw up, then the whole platoon is going to be screwed. Then they're all going to be mad at me, and you just start winding down this thought pattern of, terrible things are going to happen if you screw up, and then it causes you to screw up. It causes you to freeze. It causes you to not make decisions quickly, effectively, all that kind of stuff. What happens whenever you panic at basic training is more stress is going to come on you, more drill sergeants are going to come around you, more things that cause you to panic are probably going to be happening to you. So you have to learn to overcome that kind of in whatever mechanism that you want to do. But really, a lot of it just comes down to those few basic things that I said, just that cause the stress, right? So try not to do those things over again. Try to make decisions quickly. On just a little pro tip before I finish off this video, if you are confused, if you don't know what's going on, just ask, right? A lot of people are really scared to ask drill sergeants a question, and generally, the drill sergeants will tell you something, and they'll tell you one time, and they'll be like, does anybody have any questions? And if nobody has any questions, then it's all on you if you don't know what's going on. So if a drill sergeant ever asks you if you have a question, and you have a question, don't be scared to ask them that question, because that's like your one chance. So that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. That would be awesome. If you want to stick around some more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. That would be even better. And the notification bell button is really where it's at today. If you want to pick up one of these t-shirts, the Matt Word shirts, link is down in the description down below. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you haven't already. Hope you guys have an amazing freaking day, and I will see y'all later.